I've been using and reviewing NomadBSD for a good while now, and the latest version has some changes which I feel I need to talk about in a video. Will they be beneficial or detrimental? We'll see. Before we get on with the video proper, here's some of the changes that have happened since last time I reviewed NomadBSD, and that was NomadBSD 14R. The base has been changed to FreeBSD 14.0 patch set 4. OpenBox has been replaced by XFCE, I'm not sure about that one, and fixed an issue with PKG not creating hard links. So not many, but some quite important. Before we begin with the current version, let's have a look at some of the ways that NomadBSD used to look. I don't know the versions offhand, some of these, but this is how it looked over the years. So it's evolved slowly and distinctively. And this is all using OpenBox, I think. And it had its own unique look, feel. It was very reactive, very fast, responsive. And overall, a very pleasant operating system to use. Of course, all built upon FreeBSD. Having a look at the latest version, before we get there, we'll just have a look at the download page. There's been quite a few changes over the years. Well, it's large and maybe could benefit from being broken up a little bit, but it gives you more or less a chronological history of NomadBSD, all the way back to 2018. But it's the latest one that we're interested in, and it's NomadBSD 14R, and it's 2024-0126. And the changes came in the one before that. So the pace of development has slowed down a little bit. I don't know whether that's good or bad. I think it's probably indicated that the OS is maturing, which is a good thing. So yeah, so the been a couple of releases since I last reviewed, so we'll get on with the latest. So if you click on download, it'll take you to the download page, and well, there's a lot of instructions if you're using FreeBSD how to write the image to USB, and for OpenBSD, and for NetBSD, for DragonflyBSD, for Mac OS, for Linux, and for Windows. Well, there's not much instructions but recommendations that you use 7-zip or Berlin Etcher or Win32 Disk Imager or Rufus. And the download options are, you can download an image file that's based on the AMD64 and UFS. It runs off UFS on the USB stick itself, which is pretty cool. If you install it, you can choose the install file system you want, so you're not stuck with this one. You can download an image with ZFS. There's a 32-bit with UFS, and Mac with UFS, and Mac with ZFS. So that's pretty cool. And I think that's it. Yep. And the download locations are, well, you can choose quite a few. I'm being in the UK. I'm going to choose England, London, which doesn't seem to be working, but never mind. We'll go back. We'll have another look. I'll choose the main site. If one's guaranteed to be up, it's going to be the main site. I could choose Germany, I suppose, but I think the main site's better. Right, so I think that's downloading, yes. My limited internet is going as fast as it can, bless it. And so I will leave that downloading and we'll jump straight back once it's downloaded. Right, so here we are in the download folder. Well, we will be in a minute. I save it to RAM disk. You can save it wherever you need to, but whichever directory or folder you've saved it to, go to that. It's a .lzma file. And the instructions we're going to use is lzma-d. And put the full name in there. And after a little while, there we go, it should have decompressed. And I know for a fact it has. And you'll just see an image file without the LZMA on the end. So using DD, you have to be careful with this to make sure that you do it to the right destination. The input file, the IF, is the file that we downloaded. So I'm just going to copy it up to the IMG moniker. And the OF, the output file, is the destination where we want to write it to. So make sure you put it into the right one, in which case it's going to be a USB stick, so DA0. BS equals 1M. You can put a higher figure if your system will do it. And conv equals sync. Like I say, you can leave it at 1M, that's nice and safe, or you can put it up to 4 if your USB stick and ports, etc. can handle that. It might result in a bit of a dodgy write, but if it can handle it, that's fine. It'll do it quicker. If not, put it to 1M. Oh dear, never mind talking about dodgy. Operation not support. Do you know I know what I've done? Do you know what I've done? I forgot to put the USB stick in. So before we carry on, make sure you pick up your USB stick. I think this is a 64 gigabyte one. Put it in there, or into any available USB slot, never mind the dusty computer. In it goes. Bing, the red light comes on. There we go. Now we can do it. Unbelievable. So we'll try that again. And it's working now. There we go. And it's all done. Now you put that into your machine you want to test it on and restart. And the test machine in question is just a simple Intel Core 2 Duo. It's a Dell Optiplex with 8 GB of RAM. It's nothing fancy. So we're booting up with the USB stick in the test machine. And it seems to be going, there's a nice boot menu. It's always nice to see that. And I think we're gonna leave it to count down. Hopefully it's gonna. Is it gonna do anything? Hey, there we go. The speed of this, how everything moves, how everything interacts, how everything loads up is really dependent on the speed of your USB stick, the USB storage device, and the ports it's connected to. These are USB 2 ports, so they're not going to be the fastest anyway, even though it's a USB 3 supported USB drive. Right, so we got some rather funky green text. I like that. Reminiscent of old displays, I think. It looks like the desktop, or what's going to be the desktop, has loaded up. And it should be the install menu, in which there it is. NomadBSD setup. It gives you a list of languages. Choose one, obviously, which suits you. The default is English, American English, I presume. So we'll choose English if we can find it. Once you've chosen the language, we'll click Next. And one thing I'm not sure of already is the transparent menus. It's something that doesn't sit well with me. Never used to be like this. It gives you a little welcome saying it's going to change us to the USB and not your system. So we click Next again. And the default keyboard. It's already UK. It's already chosen that based on this language. So we just press Next. You can choose a variant if it applies to you, but I'm just going to leave it. We have an additional keyboard. So again, we'll press Next. Select your time zone. Again, it's chosen London. This is pretty cool. It's all based upon your initial language selection. It saves a little bit of looking, even though, it's not difficult in itself. Right, after pressing Next, we're going to set up a password for user and root. It's one and the same at this particular stage. Repeat password. And that's fine. We'll click Next. We're going to choose, I don't normally do this, I'm going to choose encrypt data using Geli, which is pretty cool. So if you take your USB stick from machine to machine, if someone grabs hold of it in the meantime, they try to load up what you've been doing on it, they're not going to get it far because they'll get a password prompt. We'll see how this one works. Repeat password. If you forget this, you're not going to be able to get back into your USB stick. So that's fine. We'll click Next. Choose your preferred shell and editor. Do you know that I'm sure there used to be more choices here? I'm sure. I'll see if I can pull up a picture of the the last time I reviewed it. See what we have. And there's a previous review, and you get file manager choice at the bottom. So I wonder why they took that away. And also look, nothing's transparent, which is a lot better. And if you're happy with all your choices, you press commit, and it will start the write process to your USB. Or expand the system. It's already on the USB. It just expands it all and sets everything up. And yeah, we'll get going. Finish to reboot, and we'll boot into the system to see how it is. Right, we're booting up, and it's all very exciting. And let's see how it works. Like I say, the speed of everything depends on your USB drive or your ports that you're connected to. And in general, you shouldn't have a problem unless anything is exceptionally slow, in which case you'll probably be rolling your eyes. Right from the start, because we used Gelly encryption, is it Jelly or Gelly? I'm sure it is. It says enter passphrase. The noise at the bottom about the keyboard is just, for some reason, the hardware, it likes to spit the notification out that I'm using the keyboard. That's not part of the system, it's just what's happening on this one. All you should see is enter passphrase at the bottom. You put in the passphrase, and once you've done that, it will unlock the system and it will boot as normal. If you get it wrong, you just simply can't get past that point. It's a bit like a boot password prompt. Right, we should automatically get to the desktop on this live session. I think user and root is one and the same on this. Might take a little while. Yeah, okay, that looks fine. We'll wait for the bottom panel hopefully to pop up. Hopefully it will. Oh, there it goes. Everything is really small. I think the resolution is slightly out. But we'll make do. We'll zoom in. Right, so everything looks normal. Normal for NomadBSD. You got the normal selection of applications or programs at the bottom there. And one thing I do like is its inclusion of the NomadBSD handbook right at the bottom there. So you just, if you ever get stuck to what to do, click on that and it will take you, hopefully, to a local HTML file. It will give you all the help you want. That is excellent. I like that. I mean, the FreeBSD handbook is great, and this is very much similar mode. But because this is available to you on the outset, you don't even need internet connection to look it up and work out how to use it. That's excellent. It's a good touch. I like that. So, let's have a look. On the desktop, you've got the usual icons. You've got home, which is got all the various different folders you might need. On the top panel there, you've got the power, logout, and lock screen, and the clock. Internet, computer notifications, that you got USB plugged in, you got volume, Ethernet. Of course, that would be Wi-Fi if you got Wi-Fi going on this. It's only on the desktop. Right, so if we right-click, and this is one of the changes which I'm not sure about. You get a generic-looking XFCE menu. If you compare that to how it used to look, there's a world of difference. It's lost its uniqueness, I think, which is a shame. And of course, then you get the settings, which this gives you another generic XFCE menu. It's kind of you get some nice wallpapers, I suppose, but it's just there's something missing. You know, it doesn't look the same, doesn't feel the same. I know that sounds daft, but it doesn't. It's one change I feel is unneeded because the system was pretty good as it was. And again, it just gives you the. I mean, this week we could be looking at any XFCE operating system. Right, so the main menu is. It looks kind of like the old one. You've got lots of choices. You've got OctoPKG, NomadBSD installer, the handbook there, Midnight Commander. Yeah, there's no Office in it. You've got accessories. It's all very much as it used to be. Kind of. There's no major surprises. And yeah. He's still using Secura, which is an excellent terminal emulator. And same as well, have a look at top, look at the resources being used. Yeah, it's not too bad. Minimal. Quite lightweight. But yeah. And this is the disk file structure if you're interested. Very good. And we'll go back to the menu, have a look at what we're looking for now. Yeah, if you're into development, there's quite a few things there. But I don't know what widget factory is. We'll have a look at that. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Widget factory. I don't think anything's going to... No. Well, that didn't work, so we'll have a look at something else. Graphics. You got GIMP, which is always interesting. It's glad that they've included it. A few other things. You got internet. Good selection of internet. Linux browser installer is a really good user tool. I've looked at that in previous reviews. If you want to check that out, you can see me do that there. Multimedia, you got VLC and Simple Screen Recorder. Two important things. You've got nothing in Office, which completely negates the whole point of this mobile OS if you don't have internet access. Have a word processor, have Abbey Word, have LibreOffice, that's something. You can change the displays. I don't know, let's have a look at this one. Let's see what happens. And, it doesn't look like Cups is installed or configured, which is a shame because it was previously. One of the great things about NomadBSD was that it was all ready to go. I just needed to set it up. Well, that's a shame. It kind of ties in the fact there's no operating Office suite there. Never mind. Right, we're going to install some software, and those who don't like to use the command line can be reassured that there is a GUI package manager called OctoPKG, and it works all right. I don't think it's as slick as the GhostBSD one, but it works fine. So we're going to pull in a latest catalogue of applications and packages, etc. So we're going to bring that. There's 34,041 packages processed. All right, that's not too bad. And I can't remember how to use this one. Oh, yeah, okay. Install updates if there are any updates. And install a new package. We can click on that. So after you've updated the tree, as it were, you can look for a new package to install. In this case, we're going to put in LibreOffice, because I think if you type in Libre, it's keyword activated. So if you type in Libre, it will pull in everything with Libre, and we'll have to look English GB LibreOffice. It doesn't really matter which one we install, but if you want proper spell checking and just overall menus, there you go. Have that one. Install. You can install multiple packages, and once you're happy with the selection, then you can click that tick, and it will start up the install process. So yeah, it's I kind of like it. A lot of people do. If you're a fan of FreeBSD and you use FreeBSD often, you'll probably think, no, I'll just use the command line. But if you don't want to use that, this is an alternative. And while we're in OctoPKG, you can easily upgrade the system as well. So for check updates, and you're going to have to be putting in your password a lot here. So once we check in off it, it'll pull down the latest tree again. I don't think much would have changed since we last did it, but you never know. There we go. Same amount of packages processed. So once the package repository update has been, that's a mouthful, has been completed. If you go over to where that newly popped up green circle is at the top in the menu and click on that, it should take you to the, hopefully, there we go, confirmation that you want to upgrade the packages. And there's 447 packages to be upgraded, or to be retrieved, and total upgrade download size is 1 GB. So it's quite a few there. And again, we'll put in the password and we'll leave it to it. There should be enough room on the USB stick. And it says install packages to be reinstalled, and there's upgraded, and yeah. We'll just let it carry on. There's quite a few, and we'll get back to when it's finished. Well, that's interesting. It says command finished with errors, and it stopped at package number 23 out of 449 because it failed to create a hard link. But the update said it fixed that. So in this particular one, and I am using the latest one, it's not worked. Okay. Right then, score on the door. Well, it's going to have to be 4. Previous ones have been 5, so it has lost 1 point. The positives are it's fast, even on a slow USB drive, and it really does feel fast. It feels very responsive. And that's what you want. You don't want a slow, sluggish one. But then again, you know, it really depends on the computer that's hosting it and the USB drive. So, but maybe I'm lucky, maybe I'm not. But I don't think that the machine I've got is particularly powerful. So, I don't know. On your system, it may be even quicker. And besides, it's a very subjective thing anyway, isn't it? I mean, what's fast for one person might be slow for another. And another plus point is it's based on FreeBSD 14, which is excellent in itself. And NomadBSD is niche but sensible audience. What I mean by that is the need for a portable OS probably isn't the largest selling point in the world. But when you need one, you need one. And you can possibly see the benefits of having that through if you're an admin or you want to take your work on the road and you don't want to lug a laptop. You know, I can see multiple uses for it. And the thing is, you can also install it permanently to the hard drive. So it's not just a portable OS. It can be a proper desktop OS. And it's fast and it's quick and it's excellent. It's... primary thing is a portable BSD, but it doesn't have to be. And you've also got a wide choice of download options on the homepage. The negatives, well, it does pain me, but the switch to XFCE loses uniqueness. And the look and feel of NomadBSD when it used OpenBox and Tint, I think it still uses Tint, then it had something about it which you weren't going to find anywhere else. Not even in the, at least I don't think, anyone could correct me in the comments section down below. Not even in the Linux world. You know, it had a pretty unique feel, and the fact that it was based on FreeBSD even more so. It had a certain feel. It was very quick. OpenBox is a very quick window manager. I mean, XFCE is also fast, but it's not as. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, and I don't know. It loses something in the transition, and the fact you've got transparent menus, and he doesn't like changes, you know, boomer. No, it's not that. It's just it's changed for no reason really. I mean, they might have had a programming reason, it might be a development reason why they changed to XFCE. Maybe the code base for OpenBox is no longer being maintained, or I don't know. But it seems a shame that they change it. But okay, it's their decision. Some functions don't function. Well, that sounds daft, but cups used to work out the box. You know, it would be there. You'd log into it, and you configure your printer. You do that way. It does that with GhostBSD. You can log straight into it and configure your printer there. And it used to work, and this particular one doesn't. And that was a noticeable change or problem. Also, the widget factory, I don't know what that is, but that didn't work.
So I haven't tested every single other option or menu entry, so maybe some more didn't work. And that's something else which I've noticed didn't happen before, so maybe a little bit of quality control has slipped by. And lack of community engagement is something which I think that the NomadBSD team have always suffered from to a certain extent. I don't see a presence on social media. I don't see them on Twitter. You know, you've got to be there. If you're not there, even if you just put in the occasional tweet every couple of days or every once a week or something, that's so people know you exist. Otherwise, you fade from consciousness. You know, you've got to be there. You could do a survey. You could do a fun fact. You could do anything you want. You could do, feature request. What do people want to see? Just put something out so people can engage with you. But apart from that, yeah, it's I'd give it 4. I don't want to see any more points being knocked off, but we'll see how it goes. So maybe the problems that I've shown here or highlighted here, maybe can they be rectified? I don't know. But anyway, if you liked what you've seen today, if you give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it the thumbs down. If you like my content, then please consider subscribing. That'd be great. And if you really like the videos that I make and you want to be notified when I release one, so straight away you get a little ding, little bell thing, click on the bell icon. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.